Keeping It Real listeners, my absolute favorite podcast. I am Kim Rittberg. I help real estate agents get clients, leads, and more revenue through video and podcast. And I run a video bootcamp program and I do one on one work. My background is that I came in from TV, being a TV producer and a journalist, and then shifting into digital video at Us Weekly and Netflix. And I bring all of that to you as real estate agents so you understand how to make great content that really brings in clients. So, talking today about why you should dance on video. Wait. So I actually am a huge advocate generally of not dancing on video. I think that the whole idea of dancing on video is not necessary if you don't like it, right? The whole idea of like, do a dance on Instagram, do a dance on TikTok, be silly. It can work. And at other times, it won't work. It really just depends on who you are. But I'm here today to talk about the times that you should be dancing on camera. So I'm going to step back and say, when you're thinking about what content to be making, really, really important, especially for real estate agents, to be merging that personal and that professional. So a lot of times I work with agents, it's one or the other. It's all personal, cats, you walking your dog, a trip you took with your spouse, your favorite restaurant. And your feed should not be totally personal because then someone can't go there and know how they can work with you. They're not going to refer you to someone. A lot of times people go to look at your social page after they're considering working with you. So I've had agents come to me and say, oh, I closed the deal because I know they looked at my page and they saw I was legit and they were able to get to know me and then they worked with me. So it's important that your feed should not just be all personal. It's important for people to get to see some of that professional as well. So the times though, there's other times where I go to your feed and it's like all videos where you're talking to the camera or all just listed, just sold. So the times when your feed is all professional and it really doesn't have any of you, you're really missing out on bringing in clients that way. Why? So if you have all of the homes that you've listed and sold, it's great. In some ways, it's awesome. It shows that you're credible and that you're an agent who can do work and has done work. So you're making the home seller happy, you're making the buyer happy, they're seeing that you're doing the work, the actual owner of that home that you're selling feels like they're getting love and support and they're getting more eyeballs on their house. However, if everything in your feed is just listed and just sold and it's all of the home content, you're not able to elevate yourself as the go-to agent. So someone's not necessarily getting to know you. They're seeing that home, the kitchen, the backyard, great, but they're really not getting to know you in any advanced way. So the key is to merge them both. So when we talk about merging them both, what does that look like? What does that look like in practice? So you have to think about, what are the things that are part of my life, my personal life, that I love and I could talk about all day and I am actively doing, meaning it won't be hard for you to film it, that I want to bring in to my social. Now, this brings us to dancing. I have two left feet. So I don't actually have two left feet. I'm okay with a little bit of wine. I'm okay at dancing in a casual setting, but I literally despise dance routines. So like I always hated when, if there was like, I remember an eighth grade play, a dance routine as a part of like a talent show or something, or sing, and you all have to remember routine. I was always in the back row. I just can't count. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for me, that's a very uncomfortable situation. Okay. But recently I was on a vacation with my husband and he enjoys a dance class here and there. So I said, okay, why don't we take a salsa class? Hoping he'd say no, because I really hate dance classes. But he said yes. I knew he would find it fun. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, this is deeply uncomfortable for me. And we're doing salsa in public, in a public square. I'm going to capture some content of this. Okay, so hear me out. Before we salsa danced, for my social media, one of the things that I always talk about is being uncomfortable, because I teach people to be on camera, to get out of our comfort zone, right? To push yourself a little bit so that you're uncomfortable, a little bit uncomfortable, because that little bit of discomfort is going to help you grow, right? If it's uncomfortable, it means your brain is growing. So that is one of the things I consistently talk about. So then when I'm dancing and I'm dancing not in a way that I'm loving, but in a way that's slightly uncomfortable for me, it really pulls back to my business. So when you're making a video of you dancing, you can just do a silly dance, that's fine. But you really want to pull it back to your business. So I have a good example actually. One of my real estate agents, oh, she's so fun, Alice, she roller skates. She roller skates in properties. I love that. So roller skating on its own could be a great part of her professional and personal content, but it's great when it's tied together. So when you're figuring out what part of your personal life to put into your social media, the ones that metaphorically are really closely tied are awesome. That's because people's brains can connect it more easily. So I'm dancing salsa. I'm wearing like a yellowish dress. Actually, someone came over to me and said, "You look like the dress, you're wearing the dress in 10 Things I Hate About You." Or no, not 10 Things I Hate About You. The one with Kate Hudson. 10 How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Anyway. And so I posted it and it got a lot of engagement. And the reason why it got a lot of engagement is because people just like to see you on vacation and having fun. But also, I am clearly very focused on this dance. And I'm having fun, but it's hard. It truly is hard for me. And I wrote that in the caption that, I took a salsa class. This is deeply uncomfortable. I'm practicing what I preach. For some, this is fun. It's not fun for me. And so that's the time when, even if you don't like to dance, you should dance on video. When the part of your personal life that you're bringing to social media is aligned. So how does that work in other ways? I don't think there are hard and fast rules about what you should and shouldn't put on. However, I think you really need to have a strategy that you live by. And so you say, when I post content, my professional content is under these buckets and my personal content is under this bucket. When they can dovetail, amazing, fantastic, great. When they don't dovetail, it's okay. They could still exist. It's a way to bring people in. So the important part about bringing in that personal content, there is only so much professional content that people are going to respond to and engage with, right? Not everybody's going to have something to say about that kitchen counter or about the market or about mortgage rates. So people, especially real estate agents, you have that sphere of influence. It comes from your friends, your colleagues, your family, your neighbor, the bagel store owner, you could tell I live in New York, the bagel store owner, but everyone you connect with. And when you're on social, they actually want to see some of your personal life. People ask me how much is too personal. I think you can figure out what feels too much, what feels too personal to share. But other times, being more open and being more vulnerable generally is really great. Talking about your life, talking about your family, talking about how you got to where you got, talking about challenges in your life that's very relatable to people. So really bringing people in on that personal level. So when you're talking about expanding your sphere of influence, you want to activate all of your contacts. And they're all going to be more activated by seeing you on a vacation or dancing, rather than they might not be commenting on those homes. They're still seeing those homes. So you're still able to activate that into leads and sales. But when you talk about engagement, you're going to have much more engagement by having that dancing video than just by doing all of the real estate content. So when you're thinking about dancing, I'm going to go back to dancing. If there's a dancing trend and you're funny and that's a part of you as a brand, as your, not brand, but as a person, that feels right for you, then you should do that. But if it doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. Or look at it and say, where's the metaphor in this, right? Like, how does this relate to being a real estate agent, to working for myself? I mean, everyone knows that when you're a real estate agent, you're working hard, right? And you're always in that growth mindset. You're always learning new skills. You have to be out in the field a lot. You're really shaking a lot of hands. And so when you have experiences, you can kind of relate it to being a real estate agent, running your own business. And so just be conscious of, there aren't hard and fast rules of when to dance and when not to dance, but bringing people into your life, whether that's you doing a salsa class, whether that's you doing karaoke, whether that's you walking your dog, whether that's you, I don't know. I have some outdoorsy agents that work with me, whether you're on a bike ride, really make sure to connect that with people. Like, bring that onto your social. So people are like, oh, I love to ride my bike. Hey, where do you ride? That's beautiful. So you're going to get more engagement on things like that. And also though, next level is like, if you can tie your personal life back to your professional life, that's fantastic. Like, I think that that's really, really like a hole in one when we're talking about, you think about those thought leaders, the go-to agents, the experts of the industry. They're really mining their personal life for those greater truths. So really looking and saying, what's happened in my life? What's happening in my life that I'm learning from, that I'm growing from, that I'm pushing myself? And so that's where the magic comes in, is when you're really mining that for those metaphors, visual metaphors too. Say you're a bike rider, or let's say you like to hike, you're in a beautiful area, you look out from a little bit of a hill. Maybe it's a metaphor of hiking is like being an agent. You're always climbing, you don't know where the summit is, but once you get there, the air feels clear and it feels amazing. I just made that up right now, you guys. Isn't that kind of impressive? I'm very poetic. True story. My mom is actually a poet, so maybe a little bit of her seeped into me. Okay, I'd love to hear questions from you. What would you like to learn about? What should I talk about next time on Keeping It Real? Make sure to connect with me. I'm on Instagram at Kim Rittberg. And don't forget, when you post content, tag me. I love my Keeping It Real folks. They're like the best. I have friends all over the country now. So make sure to tag me at Kim Rittberg. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook. And you can grab my free download, 10 tips to make videos that grow your revenue. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And how to be more comfortable on camera. So that's a free download, kimrittberg.com. It has a pop-up there, or /newsletter, either one. And let me know what you want me to cover next time. I love connecting with you. Keep up the good work. I know it's hard. You're doing great. And showing up at all is better than not showing up. And you are activating. You can turn your content into cash. You can turn your content into cash. So don't let your phone be a doom scrolling. Let it convert content into cash. You can do it. All right, everybody, I'm Kim Rittberg, Rittberg, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, and grab my free download. Until next time.